Welcome to the Fishroom update. Bam! What's going on, guys? Forrest here, Cichlid Man 09, coming at you guys with a Fishroom update. Kind of do an overview of my fish room, and then we're gonna do a Southern Delight feeding. Link will be in the description to the Southern Delight website. Also, a link will be in the description to the Aquatic Support Systems email. Now that's very important, guys. Pay attention to me. If you're looking to inquire about getting yourself some Southern Delight, the email address linked below, and I'll kind of label it Southern Delight email or Aquatic Support Systems email. Hit up Mike and Conway if you're looking to get some, or if you have any questions about any particular formula or whatnot, what applications and whatnot. But like I said, email's in the description, as well as the Aquatic Support Systems Facebook page. That link is in the description below. Down there, I don't know how many times I can point to the screen. Zoop, zoop, zoop. But check out the link. Go like the Aquatic Support Systems Facebook page. Every like matters. Every like counts. And just go do it, guys. Like I said, just hit that email address, Mike and Conway. Those guys will give you straight answers. And those are the guys to ask if you want some Southern Delight. They will do it right. If you want some Southern Delight, they will do it right. I think this guy's going to be my new Fishroom mascot. Let's see, what's his name? Hold on. His name is Bushy. Let's read it. I won't roar, I'll purr instead, so always pat me on the head. A cuddly kitten I promise to be, if you'll come and play with me. I don't know if you could read that. Kind of creepy, but yeah. Check out the links in the description, blah, 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 Team Aquatic Support. Let's get this out of the way at the beginning of the video, so at the end of the video, we can just end the video. So, like I said, do all that stuff. We're going to feed some Southern Delight closer to the end. First things first, our wild-caught Rio Mags with their spawn are just doing absolutely wonderful. Mom and Dad are doing great. If you guys notice, the spawn's about halfway, or half the size that it was before, and that's because over there, in the 29, I pulled out probably about 100, maybe 150. Going to be growing those guys out separately. Been working on some Southern Delight gel for myself. You can see that right there. I'm going to show you guys a couple things in regards to that gel that will help you out if you want to make some yourself with whatever food you want to make. But check out Azul right here. Just unbelievable fish, guys. And I'm going to try and make this video not a Southern Delight infomercial, but I have seen colored improvements from this guy. He seems to be putting on mass and size. Can't attribute that 100% to the food, but since the food switched, I've seen that stuff. So, I'm just going to give you guys facts. I'm not going to try and BS you and saying, that my fish are, changing completely, on feeding Southern Delight. Azul is the only fish that I've really seen it happen with. But I'm definitely seeing some improvements. Speaking of kind of some stuff that I want to be working some Southern Delight into, I did start a new project. Not really a new project, but I got some new fish in. Now, these guys are what I call LFS green terrors. Now, green terror is kind of a balloon term for a couple species. To me, these are green terrors. But if you want to get specific, the true green terror is the Adenoacara stalsbergi. These guys are the Adenoacara rivulatus. I like saying that, Adenoacara rivulatus. Common name for these guys really is gold som, but for me, the balloon term green terror applies to these guys more so than the Stalsbergi, in my opinion. The Stalsbergi, if you want to refer to them, those to me are true green terrors. So that true name usually needs to be there. I'll get a little bit more in depth as I figure out more information on the species in the complex and all that kind of stuff. And more in depth as to which is which and what is what and why the differences are where. But to me, these guys are pretty generic fish. But the main goal with these fish right here is, one, I thought they were beautiful. They have some unbelievable potential. I like this guy right here. He's just a little stud in the making. But I really wanted to show you guys that a lot of us guys on YouTube get pretty specific fish. We order them online or we get them from specific breeders. But I wanted to kind of bring you guys a little bit, back in the hobby to, just buying some basic LFS fish from your local fish store, the generic type fish. And I'm going to show you guys what happens after feeding these guys Southern Delight for a few months and show you what kind of beautiful fish can actually come from those generic local fish store fish. They can absolutely be beautiful, and you don't have to order from Jeff Rapps. You don't have to order fish from myself. You know, you don't have to get super specific to raise up some beautiful specimens of fish. So that's kind of the project I want to do with those guys. I think I'm going to work in a community, a South American community. I still have some ideas in the works in terms of what kind of fish. I think the tank that will be used is this tank, which I actually have my Gorillas Blacks in here, my F2 Gorillas Blacks. By the way, these guys are growing like crazy now that I've got them in this tank. But I think I'm going to work out some sort of a South American community, maybe working in my Spectabilis as well as the Rivulatus, green terrors, whatever you want to call them. Get specific as you want, but to me they're green terrors. You know, when you go to a Petco, PetSmart, whatever, you know, when you're new to the hobby, that's what these fish are called. True green terrors, once you get, whatever, we're done talking about that. But like I said, thinking about working in a South American community, maybe working in maybe some Geophagus. I have no idea. I kind of want to mix it up from the stuff that I normally do, which is, you know, a couple bruisers in a big tank, and kind of have something a little more calm, a little more peaceful, maybe a little bit more movement in there. Still have no idea though, but definitely excited to bring you guys kind of your average fish that you can buy from anywhere and show you with what good care and a high quality food can produce in terms of a fish, because I have no doubts that in a few months that these Rivulatus are going to be absolutely stunning fish. Check out Hulk here. Hulk's colors have lately intensified. Had a malfunction with his heater the other day, and it heated his tank up to 90 degrees, guys. I was freaking out. I was like, ah. And I want to share with you guys something, that is super amazing. Wasn't necessarily that his tank got to 90 degrees. He was fine. He was just a little hungry. It kickstarted his metabolism. But this styrofoam that I have on my tanks, guys, this styrofoam, all I did was unplug the heater, and I've switched it out. I have a bunch of these Cascades around. I'm going to be switching out all the heaters eventually, but heater's working fine now. This styrofoam that I put on this tank, alright, now I came home like 2-3 o'clock. His tank was 90 degrees. I unplugged it 24 hours later, and this room sits around 73 degrees. 24, maybe 30 hours later, the tank was still 83 degrees. This styrofoam, guys, do not underestimate the power of what styrofoam can do to your tank. It kept that heat in for so long. I actually had to do a water change to lower his temperature down to where I wanted it. So that just proves, you know, the point that I've been trying to do with this styrofoam, and that's conserve heat by not losing so much heat. And that thing held in the heat so well. It's got to be saving me loads of money in terms of heating cost. But glad to say that Hulk's fine. It could have been way worse. Who knows how hot the tank could have gotten. But like I said, the tank was at like 90, 91 degrees. Luckily, this dude is an absolute trooper and just did really well through it. And he's back to normal. We're at 70, I don't know, 75 right now. I'm going to keep his tank a little cooler because it doesn't need to stay super warm because he's not in the growth phase and anything else. So there's Hulk right there, just a straight beast. Let me know if you guys are thinking that you can see his colors intensify a little bit. To me, as a guy who sees this fish every day and all of my fish every day, it's hard to pinpoint color changes because they're so minute when you see them so frequently, if that makes sense. But let me know if you guys are seeing any differences in this guy in the comments below. We'll see if we can get him over here so you guys can get a side shot. But over the past couple months, his oh my goodness, can't talk. Over the past couple months, his nuchal hump has swelled quite a bit. I'm sure that just comes with aging, but he's just turned into an absolutely, you guys know that part. Spectabilis are down there. They look a little pissed off that I've been walking around. Rio Mags just freaking doing fantastic. Now, I've been doing a lot of DIY gel food and working with DIY gel food. If for the DIY gel food maker, buy yourself one of these. This is one of those ice cube trays with the bottom that it's flexible. You see that right there? So that just pops out, makes really perfectly sized rounded little things. This is Miss Southern Delight. I did a video on DIY gel food. I'll link that in the description if you guys want the recipe for that, because I used the exact same recipe. But made a really solid Southern Delight gel food recipe, and that's working really good. I fed the green terrors yesterday. the Rio Mag Fry, as well as these guys, and those guys are cleaning it up. So very excited about that. I got some, this is just ground food mixed with the Knox gelatin. So I basically have premix ready to go. All I need to do is add it to hot water, and it's ready to go. But that's what it looks like. They almost remind me of Rolos in this right here. But for anybody out there looking to make DIY gel food, this is an awesome tool right here. The areas aren't too big, they're not too small, and with that little pop out area, you can just plop 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 and pop them all out, and makes it a lot easier. Really perfectly sized, as a matter of fact. We're gonna throw this one in with the green terrors and see what they do. I like to pinch it a little bit so that it opens up, because it tends to form like a outer crust type of deal, or a seal, and if you allow that to open a little bit, the stuff can get into the water. I don't know what I'm trying to say about it, but you can see these guys are tearing into it. They like it. I'm excited for these guys. Hopefully I'll get a nice little pair, and you know, maybe get some fry. But either way, you know, the main thing is to show you guys what those generic fish you get at your local fish store that everybody frowns upon, that they can really turn into beautiful fish no matter what. You don't have to buy these specialized, you know, expensive fish to raise beautiful fish. You don't have to break your budget to raise beautiful fish. I'm gonna throw in kind of a quarter cube right here. This stuff cuts really well. With the Knox gelatin, this stuff holds up super great in the water. You can see this one in there. That one, this piece, has been in there since last night, and it still holds up fine. All those other little things right there are veggie krill pellets, also a water stable food made by Southern Delight, but not a whole lot you're going to see there, but you can see them. I'll zoom in a little bit. I'll back up. But you can see them down there munching on it. Great thing about the gel food like this is they can just, you know, graze all day long, and you know, kind of pick and choose when they want to, instead of, you know, you having to you know, find time in your day to feed them 5 or 6 times, because fry need to eat a lot, guys. Sorry, moving the camera off of them. Alright, since we've already started feeding everybody, we'll feed some nano krill. 0.5 millimeter sinking pellet, floating pellet mix to the black umbies, the Gorillas Blacks. And you can see them just demolish this stuff. They freaking love it. This stuff right here has really aided to them increasing their growth very quickly. They've put on probably a 1/4 inch in a week, easily, if not more. Some of the big guys are over an inch now. And you can see I do have a little bit of gel in there with these guys. That guy right there is already showing a lot of blue. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can zoom in on him. He's freaking gorgeous. There you go. Hopefully you can see him. Probably a little bit from the 50/50 actinic light that I have on there, but definitely showing some blues on there. Sorry if my voice is weird. Alright, so that's the nano krill. Great food for your smaller fish if you're feeding fry that are about that size to start eating pellets. Now, growth right here. Awesome staple food. This is what I feed Hulk right here. 42% protein, 6% fat. You're not going to overload them with either protein or fat. It's a really good in-between food. And he just freaking goes crazy for this stuff, but as soon as I get too close, he tries to eat me. And he'll go up and clean up the rest of those. Check him out. That's a beautiful shot right there, that fish. He's gorgeous. Alright, since we already fed the green terrors, we'll come back down to them while they're munching on their gel block. Now what I used for this is I used some of the small cichlid pellets that I had from Mike, that Mike sent me, and ground that up. So that's basically the small cichlid mix, which is the stuff that they would be eating if they were eating the pellets, which is the pellet that I give them when I do feed them pellets. They do love it. Day one they took the stuff after being in the coming home from the LFS, which is pretty freaking awesome. I love seeing fish eat food like that so quickly. Rio Mag's over there taking their food. I'm not going to waste my time throwing food in the Spectabilis tank because they're a little stressed out. I tried to get their lid open and have everything, but with me walking around and stuff, and them being such a low tank, they're not going to be up. Usually they're up begging for food right there. Maybe I'll settle down here in a little bit and try and feed them. Here, we'll turn the light off. May cool them down a little bit. You guys might see a little better as well. Check out our main man, Azul. Like I said, this dude's putting on size, weight. I don't know if he's really putting on length, but he's definitely putting on girth. And when he does color up, because his colors do vary quite a bit, when he does color up, he just freaking, oh my goodness, watch out. By the way, some of you might be asking where Magnum PI is. I took her into the LFS. I just got tired of having her around. There was somebody there who was interested in getting themselves an Umbi, one of the employees there, and so I took him in, or her in, whoever it was. Just got her out of my way, and dealt with it that way instead of, you know, whatever. Wasn't a fish that I really cared much for anymore anyways. I like this guy though. Check him out. Alright, let's see if we can feed the Rio Mags here. We're going to feed them some large cichlid pellets. They should come over and eat some here. There we go. Both Azul and Blondie just down all the different pellets that I throw in this tank. Be that the power feed, large cichlid, or the growth. They eat all of it, which is great. I'm able to mix different percentages into their diet. The color pellet in the large cichlid is 30% protein. The lipid pellet in there is 42%. And the growth pellet, which is in the power feed as well as the growth by itself, is also 42% fat or protein, but 6% fat. So a little leaner of a pellet than the lipid pellet found in the power feed, as well as the large cichlid. So able to vary up percentages, kind of give them different mixes and whatnot. Very cool stuff, and it's nice that they eat all of it. No issues whatsoever. Here he goes up for some more. But these two are just doing fantastic. Excited to see how these F2 Gorillas Blacks turn out. They're just growing like crazy, growing really fast, and doing awesome. Stay tuned for our Green Terror project. Green Terror with quotations. Really, they're Adenoacara ridulatus. Hulk wants to say hello and goodbye. Thanks for watching, guys. We're getting super close to 100,000 views. Going to be in the next few days now. Can't thank you guys enough. Over 1,100 and I think 1,170 subscribers. Subs just keep going up and up, and you know, I have you guys to thank for that. In the comments below, if you're still watching this, let me know topics for Fast Facts with Forrest. I think I'm going to start doing some more DIY King videos. I'm not sure. If you guys want to see those, let me know in the comments. I had a good time with them, making some funnies, as well as doing one that was actually legitimate information. But just let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll finish this with Azul. Check the link in the description if you want more information on how to make you know, my mix of gel food using, you know, whatever food you're going to use, powdered up, real fine, as well as some Knox gelatin. And we're going to call this good. I don't know how to end this.